Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This goes to Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Letter to her. The subject: urgent federal conflict of interest violations, foreign data access risks, and regulatory capture via the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board and its organization that they founded, the International Accreditation Forum. IAF has their sister organization in Australia, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, which are organizations of associations of accreditation bodies, both national and international, equivalent in accreditation to ANSI-ANAB. ANSI and ANAB are also underwriters. We're going to get into that in this letter. Dear Honorable Pam Bondi, I write to you with urgency and grave concern over a dangerous chain of negligence that has led to erosion of our regulatory oversight, national security, and constitutional accountability. Central to the breakdown are the American National Standards Institute, ANSI, and the American National Crediting Board, ANAB, both private entities whose entanglements with federal agencies and foreign powers have created a catastrophic vulnerability in U.S. governance. Conflict of interest and compensation violations. Between 2015 and 21, Mr. Phil Matheson, Standards Director for the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, served as a member and contributor to ANSI and ANAB, while simultaneously receiving $262,000 from them in outside compensation, in addition to his federal salary. Similarly, Mr. Gordon Guberman, the Department of Commerce, specifically the NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, received $120,000 from ANSI and ANAB and maintaining his federal salary. These are not allegations, Ms. Bondi. They are documented facts. If either individual has since been reassigned or shielded through bureaucratic maneuvering, let this serve as a formal notice that we retain documentation and records. The damage done between 2015 and 21 is already complete. We gave our data away. Foreign espionage by design, not hacking. The most damning evidence is that the American National Standards Institute and American National Crediting Board are founders and legal underwriters of the International Accreditation Forum and its sister organization, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. From 2015 to 21, the IAF was chaired by Zhao Jinwu, a Chinese national, and the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services, CNAS, in Beijing. Mr. Zhao was bound by China's National Intelligence Law, Article Number 7, which requires all citizens and organizations to support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work. This was not cyber espionage. It was a direct pipeline of information via American accredited bodies to foreign adversary. During Mr. Zhao's tenure, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, WIV, was certified by the China National Accreditation Services. Internal scientists at the WIV had already raised concerns prior to certification that the lab lacked enough trained technicians to safely operate a bio-level 4 laboratory. Yet the certification moved forward under Mr. Zhao in January 2017. After certification, a team of scientists from the U.S. visited the facility and again raised serious concerns over the lack of qualified staff to safely manage biohazardous material. Compounding this crisis, Ms. Bondi, Pamela Sale, the Vice President of Laboratory Accreditation for ANSI-ANAB, testified under oath one of the issues is that there is no commonly agreed upon set of standards that forensic labs around the country have to follow. Instead, there are informal guidelines that labs can choose to follow or not. In essence, she admitted on the record that there was no enforceable system of standards. The COVID-19 pandemic was not an accident in procedural failure. It was the inevitable result of systematic deregulation and accreditation theater. U.S. Department of Defense participation. Even more troubling is the DoD direct involvement as a member of ANSI-ANAB during this entire window of foreign control. The DoD remains involved to this day, just as your organization, Ms. Bondi, does. As of this writing, every organization to whom this letter is addressed, the DOJ, the DHS, the DOC, the DOD, and the FBI, is still a member and or customer of ANSI-ANAB and thereby remains entangled in a structure that undermines national sovereignty. And this is a good one for you, Ms. Bondi, since you are the DOJ person in charge. 5 CFR 2635.702, use of public office for private gain. The same 5 CFR 2635-703, use of non-public information. 5. CFR 2635.705, use of official time. 18 USC 208, acts affecting personal financial interest. OMB Circular A-119, improper use of private standards bodies for public regulation. Federal Acquisition Regulation, FR, Part 3, improper business practices and conflicts of interest. Ethics in Government Act of 1978, financial disclosure and misuse of office. Ms. Pam Bondi, you need to look into this. The Manufacturing Extension Partnership Fraud, MEP. The Department of Commerce MEP program has become a slush fund in 50 states. More than 64.85% of its state and federal funds go to executive bonuses and overhead, not to actual assistance to U.S. manufacturers. This is unacceptable and clear abuse of public trust. FDA's third-party recognition disaster. In 2018, the FDA gave ANSI-ANAB third-party recognition to oversee food safety. Since then, the U.S. has faced waves of recalls and unsafe product incidents, providing this delegation of authority was not only ineffective, but negligent. Final crescendo. Let me be blunt, Ms. Bondi. It is nearly impossible for government agencies to investigate themselves, and the American public has paid the price. I have witnessed this firsthand, whether at the Boeing whistleblower hearings on April 17, 2024, and if you want, look me up, Daryl Guberman, Daryl Guberman, Boeing, Boeing, hit images, and you'll see me standing up with 2 documents that prove Boeing gave up on-site auditing at their suppliers for over 20 plus years. The David Calhoun, former CEO, testimony on June 18, 2024, or the most recent new CEO, Kelly Oberg's session on April 2nd, 2025. The pattern is clear. Accountability is a performance, not a principle. Back in 2017, when FBI Director Christopher Wray, who was promoted there by President Donald Trump the first time, warned about Chinese infiltration, he failed to mention, Ms. Bondi, that his own agency was sitting as a member on ANSI-ANAB during the exact time that China chaired the IAF. The Federal Bureau of Investigation was in a position of partnership with Chinese Communist-controlled Forum, and I laughed bitterly as I watched him testify. This is not a partisan issue. It is a national security emergency. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Bondi, I have been exposing this longer than the Department of Government Efficiency. If you truly want to break open this pinata of corruption, foreign compromise, and regulatory authority and fraud, you need only look at the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board, both of which remain packed with federal agencies and multinational corporations. That is where Elon Musk and anyone serious about restoring accountability should be putting their efforts. And I truly look forward to you getting back to me. I have corroborating materials to support all mentioned in this letter. Sincerely, Daryl Guberman. And Ms. Pam Bondi, I would suggest you get in touch with me because we've been involved with quality for over 40 plus years. Aerospace, medical implants, printing, and plastic distribution, where we dealt with all industries. My background, BS degree in management, many diplomas and certificates in composites, plastics, Kevlar, boron, graphite, fiberglass. Their fastening systems, both metallic and adhesive. RTM, EBM, which is resin transfer molded, extrusion blow molded, and also IBM, which is injection blow molded plastics, and also non-ferrous metals, aluminum, titanium alloys, and also we are a penetrant level 2 inspector. Been in business for going on 14 years and been in quality for 40. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have any questions, concerns, or information, please put it down below and let me know your response, what you would do if you were Pam Bondi and you received this letter. Again, 203-556-1493, and I thank you.